Good evening, I'm Prasad and this is KiniNews. You don't often see dozens of smiling faces outside court. In Najib's case, some even cried. But the atmosphere outside the Shah Alam High Court this morning was different, as dozens of UMNO supporters celebrated Zahid Hamidi's acquittal. UMNO President Ahmad Zahid Hamidi has been acquitted of all graft charges in relation to the foreign visa system. Shah Alam High Court Judge Mohammad Yazid Mustafa today ruled that the prosecution had failed to prove a prima facie case and its three key witnesses were unreliable. The witnesses were former Ultra Kirana Administrative Manager David Tan and former UKSB Directors Harry Lee and one Kuwaris Shah Wan Abdul Ghani. Zahid was charged with 33 counts of receiving bribes from UKSB amounting 13.56 million Singapore dollars between 2014 and 2017. Another 7 charges accused Zahid of obtaining more cash from the same company. Zahid was accused of receiving bribes to extend UKSB's contract to operate the One-Stop Service Centre in China and the VLN system, as well as to maintain its contract with the Home Ministry to supply the VLN integrated system. The charges were framed under Section 16(a)(b) of the MACC Act. The Bagan Dato' MP also pleaded not guilty to 33 alternative charges under Section 165 of the Penal Code, where he was charged in his capacity as a Home Minister with receiving bribes amounting 13.56 million Singapore dollars over the VLN system between 2014 and 2017. Speaking to reporters after his acquittal, Zahid praised the justice system, saying the court of public opinion has been proven wrong. UMNO President Ahmad Zahid Hamidi said his acquittal of bribery charges related to the foreign visa system case today vindicated him after long being subjected to public ridicule.
Saya telah diaibkan, saya telah dimalukan, malah saya telah ditelanjangkan dengan pelbagai tanggapan dan saya telah dihukum terlebih dahulu oleh the court of public opinion. Tetapi Alhamdulillah, hari Jumaat penghulu segala hari pada hari ini menyaksikan segala-galanya bahawa perundangan telah ditegakkan demi kebenaran.
Zahid also credited BN and Umno's struggle for his acquittal. Zahid was accompanied by about 100 supporters at the Shah Alam High Court. Shah Alam High Court Judge Mohammad Yazid Mustafa ruled that the prosecution had failed to prove a prima facie case and its 3 key witnesses were unreliable. The UMNO supporters outside court today could not contain their happiness, especially after some even travelled hundreds of kilometers to be with Zahid. About 100 hardcore UMNO supporters from Terengganu showed up outside the Shah Alam High Court complex this morning. They all had one thing in common: to stand in solidarity with UMNO President Ahmad Zahid Hamidi. The group boarded 2 buses chartered for 1,000 ringgit each with their own money. They began travelling from the East Coast state at 9:30 p.m. yesterday before reaching Shah Alam at about 5 p.m. today. Asri Zakaria, a special aide to former Menteri Besar Ahmad Zahid Abdul Rahman, led the entourage. He said the group comprised hardcore UMNO supporters loyal to the party for decades and the trip was planned since last month. Speaking to Malaysia Kini, Asri praised Zahid for his leadership of UMNO. Members of the group, mainly men and women in their 50s and 60s, were clad in white tops and black trousers. One supporter described how she became emotional upon seeing the Bagan Dato' MP at the court. Bosku is set to make his way back to his prison cell in Kajang after doctors in Cheras found that he is in good health. Najib Abdul Razak has been given medical clearance to be sent back to the Kajang prison. This is according to the Cheras Rehabilitation Hospital. CRH said the convicted former premier has undergone several examinations and treatments during his stay at the hospital. The results of his latest checkup found that his health is now in good condition. He has also been taught by the hospital's physiotherapy trainer and can carry out the exercise techniques independently. In a statement, the hospital said medical consultants from CRH and the Kuala Lumpur hospital have given him medical clearance and cleared him to be sent back to the Kajang prison. The hospital added that they have held family conferences with Najib and his immediate family members to inform them of the former Prime Minister's health condition. Najib has been in and out of hospitals after being sent to jail late last month. 2 weeks ago, he was sent to HKL over stomach ulcers, which his family claims was stress-induced. He was later discharged but was readmitted to HKL last week after he fell ill again due to blood pressure issues before being transferred to CRH. Meanwhile, another UMNO leader in a separate case has been discharged, not amounting to an acquittal. This means he can face the same charges in the future. Baling MP Abdul Aziz Abdul Rahim was granted a discharge not amounting to an acquittal by the Kuala Lumpur Sessions Court today over allegations of corruption and money laundering. According to Bernama, Deputy Public Prosecutor Raya Aslinda Ahad applied for the discharge during case management today. Sessions Court Judge Azura Albi said she was satisfied with the reasons provided by the prosecutor in granting the discharge. A discharge meant that Abdul Aziz can face the same charges again in the future. Abdul Aziz was initially facing 3 charges of receiving bribes amounting to 5.2 million ringgit and 6 charges of money laundering involving 970,000 ringgit. It was in relation to a road project in Perak and Kedah. He was accused of committing the offences between 2010 and 2018. In an exclusive interview with Malaysia Kini this week, Anwar opened up about how some comparing Najib to Nelson Mandela made him feel. Let's take a look. PKR President Anwar Ibrahim today rubbished the comparisons made between Najib Abdul Razak and Nelson Mandela by the UMNO leader supporters. In an exclusive interview with Malaysia Kini, Anwar said he himself had spent more than 10 years behind bars on charges widely viewed to be politically motivated. He also felt that outlandish claims by Najib and his family should not be entertained.
If you follow my style, normally I just ignore these things. To me, too petty. I mean, to say, he's suffering, I know I'm going to better treatment. Look, even under him, I'm not talking about under Mahathir, I was placed on the floor for weeks before the doctors came and say, no, give him a proper bed for, clinical, because of the back problem. And then that's one. And of course, food is prison food.
The Port Dickson MP had 3 spells in detention, totaling around 10 years. It started with 20 months under the now abolished Internal Security Act in the 1970s, 5 years from 1999 to 2004, and 3 years from 2015 to 2018. PKR has slammed MCA for coming to Najib's rescue on social media by using religion. MCA has taken the past approach of using religion for political expediency in defending Najib Abdul Razak. This is according to PKR Deputy Information Chief Chua Wei Kiat. In a statement today, Chua reminded MCA Vice President Thi Lian Ke not to feed perverse ideas to the Rakyat. He said MCA can use the name of religion to garner sympathy and support for Najib all they want, but don't ask the Rakyat to follow suit. He was responding to Thi's remarks yesterday on why there was no sympathy shown to Najib, especially among the Malays and Muslims. Thi questioned where was the culture of forgiveness of the Malays and Islam. This was in response to backlash to allegations that the ex-jail premier is receiving preferential treatment via the healthcare system. Chua proposed that if MCA really believed in the concept of forgiveness, the party should mobilize its party members and machinery to help the poor who have been jailed for stealing food to survive. And that is all for me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTV.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. If you'd like to support independent media, do consider subscribing to MalaysiaKini.com. I'm Prasad. Thank you for watching.